The Insta360 X4 is here, and boy have I been living under a rock because I have never owned or used the 360 camera. But what in the world was I thinking? 8K 360 video, 5.7K up to 60 frames per second, and tons of other features. I want to see how this thing fits into my day-to-day lifestyle when it comes to creating, and that's what this video right here will be, so let's get into it. Now, I've never actually used or owned a 360 camera, but my problem with cameras that have smaller sensors like action cameras has always just been the quality. I'm testing this out right now in 8K, which is a great feature to have. It should greatly improve the quality, and if the quality and the convenience balance out in the middle, I can 100% see this being something that I keep in my arsenal for whenever I'm just out creating content, telling a story, or when I'm in those pinches where I do not want to bring an actual camera. This camera boasts a lot of different frame rate options and a lot of different formats. So let's just read those off real quick. You got 8K up to 30 frames per second. You have 5.7K up to 60 frames per second. You have 4K and 100 frames per second. You have 5K at 120 frames per second using bullet time. And it's tons of other frame rates as well, but those are just a few to list off that are significant highlights. Quality-wise, the 8K off of the X4 is actually phenomenal. Like, when you feed this thing the right amount of light and you're in the right scenario to utilize this small sensor, the footage actually comes out really, really crispy. Now, I'm not expecting this to outperform a full-frame Sony camera in pitch black darkness or anything like that. But with these sorts of sensors and these smaller sensors, you want to feed them light. You want to be in optimal positions and optimal situations to use those. And when you are in those situations, the footage comes out incredible. Stabilization is A1. The slow motion at 5.7K also looks really good when you feed that sensor the light that it needs. Overall, I was very impressed. In the past, I'll be completely honest, just looking at 360 footage online on YouTube, I've never actually really been impressed with how good the quality of the footage is. But with this, once I loaded it into the computer, I was significantly surprised. One of the fascinating and very enticing things about this Insta360 X4, excuse me, I'm tired, I'm like running, is that you can actually just turn this into a single camera setup. Like, you don't have to use both of the cameras on a device. So essentially right now, I just got a small, lightweight, compact device with me that I could just use on the go. I get a really nice preview of what the footage looks like straight out of the camera. I can get my framing right. So that's dope. I really wonder how the stabilization is gonna look with me running, holding the selfie stick vertically with that bounce. I got a lot of stuff here. 1 second. First off, we got the premium lens guards. I use these when I'm transporting the camera just to make sure everything's safe and I don't crack any of these lenses. The bullet time bundle, if you don't know what bullet time is, I'm gonna be trying this out later in this video, so make sure you stay tuned because this is a really dope attachment to get some really unique angles and really unique shots. We got this quick reader right here. This allows you to transfer things straight to your phone very fast. If you're going to be using this for social media content, this would be great. But honestly, in app, you can download pretty much all of your media. and utilize it that way as well. I got an additional battery. Battery life has been exceptional. Throughout this entire video, I've only been using one battery. I just charged it yesterday, but I haven't had to swap batteries throughout the day, my whole time using this camera, which is awesome. We got the lens cap, which is in the car, and then we have the 2 selfie sticks. I'm using the bigger one right now. It's been phenomenal, been so easy to use. This setup is so compact. And we also have a smaller version of that as well. But Insta360 also has some additional attachments and accessories for this camera as well on their website. So it's a lot that you can do with this. It's also a 1/4 thread at the bottom of this, so that's how I was able to utilize my car mount, my car rig, stuff like that. So the possibilities are flat out endless with this camera. The lens guards are a great addition to this camera system, just so you don't crack those lenses when you're traveling. You have the premium lens guards, which you can purchase, but you also get a pair of standard lens guards that come in the box with the camera. Another thing that protects the X4 when you're traveling is the rubber lens cover, which is awesome. It goes on and off really easily. Now, another accessory that I absolutely loved using with this X4 was the invisible selfie stick. I was using the bigger version, and man, I was able to get so many creative angles on just a very small setup. I had the invisible selfie stick just on a little mini tripod, and I was able to raise that thing way up in the air. And the fact that I can reframe those shots after the fact, it allowed me to get some aerial looking shots, which I tend to just love in projects. The new battery on the Insta360 X4 is 2,290 milliamp hours, and this is rated for around 135 minutes of constant runtime. And I can 100% vouch for this battery. This thing lasts a ton of time. When I was just out shooting throughout the days when I was testing this, I never really ran into an issue with the battery just flat out died. I happened to just end up finishing shooting throughout the day before the battery even died the majority of the time. My wife had a photo shoot over the weekend, so I decided to just take it out, just get some behind the scenes content, because this is realistically where I see a lot of my use case for the X4 in the future with behind the scenes content. This will allow me to get the behind the scenes content, and I have a huge camera on the side of me, and I can even rig this up on the side of my camera when I'm taking photos or getting cool video clips. You've seen those before and after type reels on social media, I'm sure. The 360 camera makes those types of shots very easy to get. I basically just had it out with that bigger selfie stick, just walking around with it, nothing out of the ordinary, but I like it because the footprint is so small, it's not really invasive, and it makes it really easy to get those behind the scenes shots. Let me really quick break down this bullet time bundle, what it is, what it does, what it looks like. So right here we have the Insta360 X4. This right here is the invisible selfie stick. This is the smaller version. This actually comes in the bullet time bundle. And then you also get this part of the bullet time bundle as well. You can see right there, you have that swivel on that top piece. So basically, all you could do is you screw that in like so. 1/4 thread right there. Hold this like this, and then you swing that around to get your cool shot. So let's test it out. See what we get. The Insta360 X4 takes 72 megapixel photos, which is crazy. One thing that I've been having a lot of fun with experimenting with this camera is the gestures. I can just find a composition, post up, throw a peace sign up in the air, and the camera will take it actually just took a picture. Crazy. It's over here on the ground. I wasn't even like that's wild. Yeah, I didn't even mean for that to happen, but yeah, just doing gestures like that, the camera will automatically take a photo. So right now I'm about to grab some test photos in one of my favorite alleys in the city, so let's do it. The photography experience on the X4 was interesting. A lot of the photos that I took using the X4 were in the HDR mode, and in that mode, it takes a little bit to process the photos. I believe it's taking multiple photos and stitching those together into a high dynamic range pic, which is cool. I think when you feed the sensor light, the photos come out incredible, but if you find yourself in a situation where the light isn't as optimal, you're probably better off just going with the regular photo option, because it's not gonna have that much dynamic range to squeeze into the photo anyways, and the process of taking the photo will be a lot faster. The mobile app experience with the X4 was actually really cool. I ended up using that quick reader attachment, which allowed me to get the footage into the application extremely fast. I highly recommend that. You can connect your phone to the app and do that wirelessly, but I believe that this is just faster. I like when I don't have to deal with connections and Bluetooth and all that sort of stuff like that. You just put your micro SD card straight in there, connect it to your phone, and you're good to go. Now you can pretty much do everything inside of this application. You can reframe your shots, you can create quick edits for social media. You can even do some other really cool things throughout the app, like AI warp and all that other really cool stuff that they offer inside of the Insta360 app. But one thing that I was really interested in trying out was the auto edit feature inside of this application. I figure if you just go out throughout the day, film some really cool shots, and you just allow this to create short form content for you, it would take a load off of your back. I tried it out and I have some interesting finds about it. The thing that I really did like about it is that a lot of the transitions, a lot of the reframing that it was doing for the shots was just stuff that I personally felt like I was just unable to do. I'm not super experienced in the Insta360 application. This is actually like my third time in it, but this auto edit did some really cool reframing for my shots, and I was like, dang, that's actually really dope. I really wish you could input a time that you would like your final edit to be. This would allow you to create specific short form content. You could select the aspect ratio that you wanted and just literally allow this to make the edits for you. The cool thing about it though, it has templates already inside of the app. It has music that you can use that's royalty free. So I do think that this is valuable and it saves a ton of time. I just dropped all this stuff in there. It took a little while for it to analyze and create a rhythm for it, but it allows you to select different tempos for the project that you're doing. Overall, I think it's useful. The app is very intuitive. Like I said, it allows you to do reframe and all that sort of stuff like that. So if you do want to create an Instagram cut or like a short form cut right on your phone, it's really fast and simple to do. Overall, my experience with the X4 has been extremely fun. It's been a long time since I've had fun using the camera. I feel like when I'm using this, it takes so much pressure off of me. I don't have to think about framing. I literally just use a standard picture profile throughout the majority of these shots. I had it on auto exposure and I'm just shooting. I'm just living my life and I'm just getting the shots that I need and they're coming out crispy. And I'm able to chop these down and create shortcuts or get behind the scenes content for YouTube videos or take this into places that I wouldn't want to take a full-size DSLR mirrorless cinema camera. It's been so long since I've actually taken a camera into the grocery store with me and put it on a shopping cart just because I feel so awkward doing it. But with this little camera, it's no pressure. It's small. All I gotta do, lock it onto me and I'll figure it all out in post. So this camera has been very fun. I thoroughly enjoy it. If you've never used a 360 camera, I highly encourage you to try this one. If you are an action camera person, I really don't see the need to buy an action camera when you could just buy one of these. Like this gives you more lens options. It gives you more framing options in post. And if you want to use that single lens mode that's similar to just using an action camera, you can do that. You have a big preview that's crispy on that screen of what you look like with your framing and all that sort of stuff like that. I just don't really know what you would want to use an action camera for. This thing is also waterproof. Like why are we still using action cameras? I don't know. Let me know. I don't know. All pricing and links and information for the Insta360 X4 will be down in the description below. Let me know what your favorite feature is on this camera if you're interested in it at all. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop it a like. If you're new to this channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. But with that being said, I'm out, y'all. Peace.